want to say a few words about what needs to be done for cycling. So, yes, there has been quite a boom for cycling the past few years, and a lot has been written about and said about it, but there's still a lot more to do. First of all, we need to treat cycling as a fully fledged mode of transport. Most of the time, this is not the case. And because it's not the case, cycling doesn't get the priority it deserves as a sustainable and healthy means of transport and leisure, but also as one of the fastest and most efficient solutions we already have to decarbonize transport and to reduce our dependency on fossil fuels. We need strategies, we need policies, we need visibility of cycling as a mode of transport, and that means collecting proper data on it and no longer having the excuse that, well, we don't invest in it because we don't know what the situation is or how much we should be investing, etc. We need funding, and we need a lot more funding. Our recommendation is that countries should be spending 10% of their national transport budgets on cycling. We only know of one country that's doing that, Ireland. They're spending 10% on walking and 10% on cycling. And in that relatively small country, that adds up to 1 million euros a day spent on walking and cycling. Be like Ireland. So the number one reason that people give for not cycling or not cycling more is the feeling of safety. So that means we need to invest, first and foremost, in safe, attractive, convenient infrastructure so that people will use it. We need to rebalance the existing transport infrastructure to have more public space for walking, cycling, and public transport, less space for private motorized vehicle transport. That is what it means. In a city like Brussels, where I live, 70% of public space is for cars, whether moving or parked. 70%. So don't tell me there's no space for a bike lane or more, pedestrian zones or something. It's there. You just have to reprioritize it. That also means we need to de-incentivize car travel. So whether it's through congestion zones, higher road tax, less parking, more expensive parking, however we do that, that has to be part of the equation as well. If we want that shift, then we have to do these things to, really nudge and achieve that shift. We also want cycling to be integrated into major infrastructure projects. If you're building a high-speed rail line, don't cut off existing cycle paths while doing it, and even better, build a cycle highway next to that high-speed rail line. Something else that we haven't talked about here yet, which I think is important, we also need to support the innovation and growth of the cycling industry. Because, for goodness sake, we've been doing that for years and years and years for the automotive industry and for aviation and for shipping and everything else. And, we need that also to make sure that we have a viable, healthy, productive cycling industry that supports the growth of cycling. Just to conclude, I want to talk about this new initiative that Bronwyn alluded to. So earlier this year, several NGOs that work in the walking and cycling space came together with the support of the FIA Foundation to form PATH, the Partnership for Active Travel and Health, because we felt that walking and cycling were very much under-prioritized, underfunded parts of the transport and mobility mix. We wanted to draw attention to this. We wanted to use this as a platform to call on governments and cities to make a real commitment to walking and cycling, to help unlock the potential, the further enormous potential of walking and cycling, to accelerate the achievement of climate goals, to improve people's lives, and to deliver all these other co-benefits that we know that walking and cycling can do. So we have also commissioned a headline report that brings together a lot of really, really good existing work out there produced by members of the PATH Coalition and others to make the case for walking and cycling. So the report is called Make Way for Walking and Cycling, and we'll be very happy to help you have a look at that. The website is pathforwalkingcycling.com, and my colleague Frozo in the audience here, she's got a QR code that will take you right to it if you'd like to see her afterwards. But just to conclude, on the occasion of COP27, we issued a joint letter, which first and foremost was signed by all of the 14 PATH coalition members, but also to date, and Frozo, correct me if I'm wrong, but at last count, we had 355 NGOs sign on to this letter that calls on cities and governments to commit to prioritizing and investing in walking and cycling through 5 key measures. So we want them to have concrete actions in the areas of infrastructure to make walking and cycling safe, accessible, and easy to do. Campaigns to support the shift in mobility habits that we need. Land use planning to ensure proximity and quality of access to everyday services on foot and by bike. Integration with public transport to underpin sustainable mobility for trips both short and long. Capacity building to enable the successful delivery of effective walking and cycling strategies that have measurable impact. And we really hope that more countries and cities take note, and that walking and cycling become a much bigger part of the conversations and the action happening going forward. Thank you.